Greetings, I am Lice.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play
Arcade Spirits
Arcade
together.
Spirits together.
Oh my god, my
Yay!
brain going, what?
I was like, arcade something.
Aha.
Anyway, we're going to go and access all kinds of old school retro games. Like, that is what I'm looking forward to. So here we go.
Yes, very excited.
All right, so if you are first joining us, this is going to be episode 3, I think?
It's something, I guess.
Anyway, so it's near the beginning of the series, and if you would like to check out the beginning of the series, we got it. And if you are along with us, we're so happy to have you.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Romance, seriously?
Seriously, as often as you can find your soulmate, often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place. But if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too.
Yes. Workplace dating, well, that's a recipe for disaster. And hitting on coworkers right from day one can be kind of awkward. Or am I looking for love? And ready to start out right from the gate. Never get a second chance to make a first impression. If I meet the right person, why put it off? They ask us.
Uh-huh.
How do I want to handle this new opportunity?
It actually lets you fucking choose, though.
That
is fascinating, because every game usually that I run into that's like, here was going to do dating as far as I've seen, everything immediately goes into like, now you're going to romance because that's what's going on.
It shoehorns you in real quickly.
Yes.
And it is the thing is people going, well, that's just a dating game. And I'm going, but it doesn't have to be. And I love that this one is going, hey, dating's an option. So that's super cool. Again, we're dealing with consent, we're dealing with boundaries, and we're dealing with expectations. And it is a design your own game. Now, they did really go, you can design your entire experience in this game, and so far, I'm more likely to believe them.
Absolutely. I'm starting to trust them.
Hold on. Sure, I'm open to the possibility if I meet anyone nice. Romance with flirty first impressions. Let's stay focused. I'll play it cool on day one, at least. Romance without flirty first impressions. I'm just not interested in romance, Iris. No romance, just friendships. I think the middle one is fine for this game.
I was about to say the middle one.
Because I've never been a specifically flirty person.
Right.
But 2, I don't feel this character being specifically flirty.
Right.
Like, just from the very little I know of them so far. And also going...
Like, they are playful, for sure.
Yeah, they've been playful with, their roommate and such. And I'm just like, I think in the middle is nice, thereby we don't shut down the game and going, you know what, I just want to play this. Because I'd like to see how they handle romance, or the idea of romance.
Because honestly, since this game has also partially got a focus on at least relationships,
yes,
not necessarily romance, it actually, which I thought was super cool, it's like you can do romantic or platonic. That is super badass, you guys. And this game is so nice in that way, based off of what we understand.
And what we're seeing so far. I would say, and for me, there's so many games and so much fictional media that really does a poor job of demonstrating healthy relationships.
Yes.
Or realistic relationships, even if they're not healthy. That I think, 1, having the ability to choose, and 2, getting an idea of both or more kinds of relationship would be good.
And again, that's okay. Not every game has to be perfect, but it does get frustrating where usually as far as we've seen, they seem to be exclusively still more that thing than anything else, which is really frustrating. All right, let's stay focused. So we're going to go to the middle one. I just wanted to make sure that it was there so it would actually register.
All right, here we go. Right now, I'd rather focus on finding a career. Any sweet loving can come later, if I feel like it.
I'm really just like, what is with the Texan, like the slang, the soft, just little twang.
Yeah,
the
really
little
loving and stuff. It does suggest an accent, it really does.
It's
or
kind of
certainly a regional amount of language.
That's fine. I'm sure as you get to know people better, romance will eventually bloom. Or not. It's up to you, really. Now, let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata.
Oh my god. I knew it. This is some kind of scam. I'm going to wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney. Man, we are suspicious. We're aggressive.
I can help you register as an organ donor.
Oh god.
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry, I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell.
Okay, also, that is a really good piece right there that I'm going to tell out. There is so many times where people meet each other in romance-bent fiction where they immediately get all levels of sarcasm and humor and in-jokes without ever building anything up and getting any familiarity.
Oh, yes.
And while I appreciate that some people can click on some things really quickly, it doesn't just always happen that way, and it's really cool to watch people get to know each other.
Yes. Relax. I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized?
Oh, God. Another wonderful Juniper recommendation. Here, just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still, 18 times the charm, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Analyzing. Analyzing.
We get some
Please
nice
enjoy this
elevator
recorded music.
I just like the little Space Invader is just charming me so much.
Cute.
So do I just stand here while you just look through my soul and dig up all my dirt and examine the skeletons in my closet and
or check out all my porn?
I was just saying, put out my
thereof.
dirty laundry like
Thank you for waiting. I've identified your dream job and arranged for an interview 30 minutes from now.
What?
Whoa.
Hang on, what? Whoa. All right, here we go.
Please put on some nice clothes. Nicer than those. Please. I don't think that's too much to ask.
What am I interviewing for? Wait, what? What?
For your interview, silly. You want to look your best.
Related to the job I'm getting, I don't know how I'm supposed to dress for this, but okay, how did you land my dream interview, not job, in 20 seconds flat?
Simple. I'm awesome like that.
Great.
Now, get a move on. Tut-tut. You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus, and that's 9 minutes away.
Well, you are organized, aren't you? Well, it's my morning, and this is happening. All right.
Fascinating.
All right, you wish me luck. Newt, newt.
Newt, newt.
But
Newt,
I do have a chance to get off this runaway chain. Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother.
It's true.
So it does give you an option. I could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I could get dressed for Iris's job interview. Stop this before it's too late. Honestly, part of me wants to do stop this before it's too late because a lot of it feels like it's going to just put you straight into the arcade. But I wonder if you'll get to go to the arcade either way, even if you find it yourself.
I don't know.
But I'm for go with the job interview. So again, I encourage everyone else to play this. Try your own choices. We're going to do one path, and we're going to see what we get.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Get dressed.
A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted the app right there rather than hop on a bus to meet up with what were very likely men with sharp knives and a taste for kidneys. Except for I don't know any of that really. And did I even look at the rating in the App Store? Do I know what anyone thinks of this app? Damn, I should be a little more organized. I just barely got dressed in time and did my hair. Excuse me.
No.
I will be nicer to me today.
It's okay.
But me, I was already getting dressed before she finished that sentence because I really was ready for something different, and honestly, it is the future. I will get with the program.
With a program.
And try the technology. I'm not going to be like my grandparents. It's not that I believe the silly app's claims it's serving my hopes and dreams on a silver platter. Honestly, I expected another shoe salesman job at best. But, well, it'll be worth a laugh at the very least. I choose to trust in this science.
I chose to trust.
Oh, chose.
That
Thank
is
you.
a weird past tense thing that they it should be choose, okay. I believe in this case.
What is my dream anyway? What the hell? Let's do this. Like I always said, go with the flow. I kind of want to do with the bleak outlook they've had with the filler text, I kind of want to do I choose to trust in the science. Kind of going, look, if this is how they're solving people's problems these days, using this kind of an app and it's big business to solve people's problems that way, why not?
Sure, why the hell
Most
not?
self-help doesn't come with a free trial, so I'm gonna give this a shot.
I mean, I was honestly gonna be like, it's either that or, potentially like I always say, or what the hell. Kind of based off of what I'm seeing so far with the character, but it is also saying, go with your gut. So I appreciate, I understand there is going to be some conflict of interest, so this is one of the things, usually when we play a lot of games, our idea is to actually play what we think the writers were going for, basically, and what they're trying to inform the character, to be.
So there's, no matter how neutral you're trying to be, if you have any dialogue that's written outside of the choices, the character is something.
Yeah, the character has an opinion.
And so we make a mix with our characters between here's what they're informing based on what we've seen outside of the choices,
and then what we think
and
that
what's
means
available
from there.
in the choices, and also some level of our own interpretation of building it more as we go along.
Right.
Anyway, and we also talk about together why we're choosing that, because man, sometimes one of us just misses the mark somewhere, and the other one's like, but consider.
Yeah,
but have you considered? Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
All right,
I chose to trust in science. You have to hit the enter key if you're going to select a choice.
All right. Assuming Iris isn't lying, she's massively interconnected to any number of databases, and now to my own digital persona. All my mumblings, my rants and ravens, my cat memes. I have cat memes.
You have lots of them.
I've heard about virtual assistants before, but about the wonders they can perform in any increasingly connected future year of 20XX, their practical next step in AI research. I did call it right, of going, let me just pull myself into the future and try this thing.
Sure, why the hell
Why not?
Let's
you know what?
do it.
I'll be a big girl and try the new technology. And by that, I use girl very generically.
Because for you, though.
And for me, I am a girl. So when I am referring to myself and not necessarily the character, I'm going to use girl because that's how I identify.
Yes.
All right. By this point, I'm going to take a miracle.
It's going to take
a miracle to sort my life out. So what if that miracle is made of bits of silicon? I'll take it. I've always had an affinity with silicon, right? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Maybe because we do use the
stuff
internet
on your
and
phone.
we use computers and stuff. And as I came to realize weeks later, turns out that was the best rational decision I've ever made. I'm very interested now. If you don't take the doc's advice, what happens? All right, here we go.
Oh, look, it's a fun
Pengy Barbershop or penguin themes. Is there a penguin theme going on, or am I going crazy?
Right. Oh no, Noob Sub.
Noob Sub, Office Space for Rand, Office Space.
Web Sub. It's Web Sub.
Oh, it is Web Sub.
Fun.
I have to change our name to
Whole story. Boring clothing store. Lone
office.
Dull. Oh
I
my
love
God.
Pengy's.
All right,
Pengy looks so much like Starbucks, even though it's Barber.
I know.
I want it to be, but a Web Sub is great. I wanted it to be, like the Netflib thing for the IHOB thing, but it already ends with B, so it doesn't work. Bub Sub.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from Juniper's office building. We're going to get to see her regularly. Yay! That's part of how I calculated into your dream job. It's also near people you care about. That is a hell of a calculation, my dear. Whoa.
Like, whoa.
Although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that, Juniper's got a fancier job than we do.
It sounds like it.
This is, well, it's a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of 19XX, places where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into a tight space as possible, usually open air, so that you don't have hallways between as well.
Right, because everybody hates hallways and air conditioning.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I was actually only familiar with enclosed malls because the little town that I grew up in Colorado actually had one mall in the entire town, and it was an enclosed mall.
Right.
I would say, and I learned later that we had more malls, but they were strip malls, and therefore they were never seen as the mall, go to the mall, hang at the mall. But I was privy to a town that had a mall for mall culture, like the malls you get in zombie movies. So I'm just like, there you go. And it took me a long time to learn that outdoor collections of basically businesses were also a mall.
It's true.
Anyway. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore called The Whole Story, hole in the wall, whole story, an arcade, a fast food joint, where am I going again? And a boarded up house ball once called Lattes and Enemas, which sounds, okay, so I actually know that one.
Listen.
There is actually a big movement for like coffee enemas as a health benefit thing because of the way the caffeine is administered and whatever
into your bloodstream,
like directly into your bloodstream through colon absorption, etc.
Right.
It's an interesting phenomenon. People have used it for interesting and also controversial things, but like enema culture for medical treatment is a big field. And while I've never been like super interested in it, it's something I keep running into.
It's kind of fascinating.
Some of the things that they can do with enemas are really fascinating because in microbiological culture in people can really determine a lot of their body experience. And they've learned more about how to share that microbiological culture in a way that will benefit someone who doesn't have the microbiology that would otherwise stabilize their body.
Except also, as we've learned, actually, on top of that, there's a lot of people that are very concerned about it because the field is also super new still. And they're going we kind of feel like we're jumping the gun a little bit.
Don't actually know the deep complexities of the microbiology involved in our bodies.
No, we do not.
All right.
So what do you think?
I think that's two things no human being should ever combine. Coffee
you clearly don't know about it, but that's okay.
But coffee enemas are a thing, so there we go.
They are. No, I mean about your future place of work.
I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook.
The one in the middle, silly.
Funplex. What? Behind the arcade? Behind the bunny?
It is the arcade.
Huh?
Trust me on this. I reference and cross-reference and cross-reference your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job.
Based on the fact that you play Crashy Cats
all the time,
and you are really nostalgic for old games, this is the job for you. Plus, your best friend is nearby.
Yay!
Ah, my dream job. Really?
99.97%.
Yep. Accuracy. Yes.
The little voice quips throw
When
me
it
off
pops in,
sometimes.
I know, that's why I paused before, because she talks.
sometimes she does
and
a
then I
quip.
went, is she going to keep talking? I don't know. Like,
I should probably explain my confusion, and also, I'm not dressed too nice for this job. I mean, they like you to dress, like, for the place you're going to be working, and they also like you to know a little bit about the place you're going to be working.
for the job you want to have. Honestly, sometimes I fucking hate that.
Ah.
That is such a level of, like, classism. Like, so you don't know,
It
like,
is.
if you know anything about, like, job hunting culture in the United States, there's such a level of classism here, and like, where people are like, you need to dress up super high, and then other people go, wow, we're not going to explain to you that actually you shouldn't really do that here, even though that's what the previous generation constantly keeps teaching you to do.
Because
Then you
put
look
you
like you're not supposed to be here, because you're too weird for this job, because you clearly just went too far and too overboard, and you're going to be a huge pain in the ass to work with, because, you know, you
Or-
look like you want to succeed too hard, and you might be really difficult for people to get along with.
Or you might be overqualified and you'll want to leave as soon as you get a better offer, which is a big reason people don't get hired. And I've met a lot of people who are very qualified in one area and they go, you know what, I don't want to do that with my life. And if they give references in that tell of that experience at all, they get a, yeah, you're an engineer, you're overqualified for this job. And they're like, yeah, but I want to drive a school bus.
Right?
You know, or various things
Yeah.
like that. Like, I have met people going, you're a mathematician, so we don't want you in our office job. No, really, I didn't really like that career. I really want to get into office work. And they're going, yeah, we feel like you'll leave when you get a better offer, kind of thing.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my god, listen to me. Also, too, who the fuck cares? But if you don't have a job here, guess what?
But also,
You don't have insurance. You
Then
don't
you-
have money. You don't have a stable life. It's
and I have to go from the business side of things and going, it costs money and time and energy to train people, to sign them up, to put
No,
them
I
through
know.
your orientation.
And they're
And
always
so they go,
worried.
well, if I just quit, what does that do to you? It actually does a lot financially. If you have a smaller business, especially, and they're training and losing lots of people, it is a huge financial strain on them.
It is a
Let alone,
crunch.
they're not getting the work done that they needed to hire that person for.
Yep.
They're just working on training people over and over again. I should probably explain my confusion. Arcades are big business in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs. 5-star arcades are social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream. But, well, restaurants are popular too, right? And for everybody who opens one, will be the next Iron Chef, dozen or more shut down in failure.
It's true.
Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, and sure, those who make it can secure fame and fortune, but those who don't, well, no wonder Iris sees this as a dream job? Sounds a little fictional.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's actually just a photo.
Oh no, is this a photo that I think it is?
Is that
Holy
one of the game
shit.
dump sites out
so,
in, like,
there
Mexico?
was, yes, where they buried all of the, so if you don't know, there was an E.T. game that they buried in, like, New Mexico or something like that out in, like, a landfill, and they finally uncovered a ton of them recently, and it was super interesting. They were like, we found all the games,
They've
and the
actually
game is
found
really horrible.
lots of different dumped games and even dumped game consoles, including one console that was like Garfield themed or something that had been just like shoved in an ocean cave, like a couple hundred of them or something wild like that. They're just like,
I'm like,
bye.
Why the hell would people do crap like that? Number one, it's such a huge amount of waste, but like, dude.
They're just like, not on my clock. You will never know it existed. Not on my resume.
Hey!
Video games weren't always as popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. Back in the year 1980X, we nearly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as a kid's fad toy, like hula hoops.
Toy fad.
Mainstream acceptance. So video games, in this case, what they're talking about, as they've explained in the like basically
The
pitch,
trailer for
the
this,
pitch
yeah.
for this game, they're talking about like arcade-style video games
Yeah.
rather than computer games or other like take-home console games.
Yeah.
And that the arcade crash didn't happen.
Yeah.
For instance, so that we're just in an AU of our reality right here. One of the factors could have been a terrible game based on a kids' movie about a cute alien visitor. It is a reference
It
to that.
is, uh-huh.
Who wanted to phone home. And if you do look it up, burying ET games, you'll find articles everywhere about it.
Oh yeah,
really
it's
easy to
super
find.
fascinating.
All right, what's next? If this game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it'd have ruined video games for years. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. That game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. They made a great ET game, and everyone loved it.
They went, actually,
Okay.
the ET game was one of the things that saved the industry.
You know
Yay!
what? That charms me so much because you got
That's
the writers
adorable.
going, you know what? Here's what happened. We're going to write a better world, and we're going to write a better world that doesn't shit on anybody.
That's so
very
good.
cute. You know what? They were given the time they needed, the support they needed. They didn't have to do crunch time. All the developers got to work at a reasonable pace, and with the information communication they needed, the office had had good resources. The company was able to pay its people. Like, I love what this says
Honestly,
about video games.
That's very sweet. And also shows kind of a love letter to going, like, God, can you imagine what would have happened? Anyway, thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us, because we're going to find out about the crisis only existing in theory, I guess,
in our next episode.
Yes, and we will start our job, hopefully, in the next one as well. So thank you for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below if you'd like to just support us, or if you'd just like to sponsor us actually to play a game because you like what we talk about, or if you just want to tip us because, you know, we're cool and stuff. But other than that, I have been Scandal.
And while our Patreon doesn't lock off any content, it does give you the ability to direct message us. So if you do want to subscribe to our Patreon and ask questions you don't necessarily want to put up publicly, or send us fan art or anything like that, you are welcome to do so.
Yes, absolutely.
And I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!